Hey guys, this is EXPShare, and I'm going to be bringing you a Starcraft 2 2v2 that I played not too long ago. Now, I'm going to be spawning up here in the top center side as the green Zerg player. Now, I do play random, so I had no idea what I was going to be able, what I was going to be getting, what I was going to be doing in this game. So that is definitely a thing for me. Now, I play Starcraft not for you know, like uber competitiveness, but I just kind of play it for fun. I play it to kind of get better at each of the races, and then to just have fun and do random stuff, and just kind of mess around. So that's why I play Starcraft. I also play Starcraft to kind of bring you guys the best, let you know what's going on. I am going to be doing an extractor trick here. That is just so I can get out one extra drone before that Overlord pops. And so, introducing the players in this game, my ally spawning in the top right side is going to be Howdy. And in the bottom center side, it's going to be Potato Head as the red Terran. And as the blue Terran spawning in the bottom left side is going to be the Waffle Man, which I'm guessing he has waffles or something, or he like flip-flops on things, or maybe just likes IHOP and maybe he's playing this game from IHOP, which that would be kind of interesting. I don't know of anyone who actually plays StarCraft on IHOP, but if you do, that is awesome, because IHOP makes really good pancakes. So, anyways, I don't even know where I was going with that. I'm going to be going for a hatchery first, followed immediately by spawning pool, which is fairly standard for Zerg. However, I really don't know what these guys are going to be doing, so it's a bit of a risk, because, well, looking at vision, neither of us is really scouted. I mean, I do have this Overlord that's going to be moving out down here, but I don't think I ever actually did anything with that Overlord, so I have no idea what they're going to be doing. So they could actually be going for a 5 Rex here, and it could completely and utterly just destroy us. But as I was saying, the hatch first build is pretty common. Another thing that I don't know exactly how common it is, but I like to do it is I like to follow the style of Zerg played by Spanishiwa, which he is kind of famous for making a lot of drones and then not actually getting gas until around like halfway through 30 supply, which is like 35, maybe even 40 on some games. And basically what that allows you to do is, if you scout, it allows you to find out what kind of tech your opponent's going to be going. Like, for instance, is it going to be Marines? Is it going to be, I don't know, Banshees, for instance? Banshees are definitely a threat to a Zerg coming from a Terran. Is it going to be like Battlecruiser Rush or something? It lets you know what's going to happen, what's going to be coming up, so you can then throw down tech and adapt, I guess, accordingly to what's is going to be going on. Warp Gate is going to be on the way for Howdy. He really needs to throw down more gateways than this. I mean, he could. He did say earlier that he was going to be going for air, so he's probably waiting for a Stargate. But I'm not really sure what he's up to. No, he's going to be going for an expansion down here. Anyways, looking at the production tab, I do have quite a few lings on the way. The reason for this is because I just want to be safe. I don't want anything to catch me off guard. I haven't really scouted. This Overlord is over here. He's at full health. He has seen a little bit of what's going on, which is to say, like, nothing at all. I have seen this. I did run a Ling up into here. He died. So that is going to be very quickly more units lost for me. But there is going to be attack moving out here. There's one Zealot and pretty much all of my Lings here to defend this. The Zealot is almost surely going to fall. He does get taken out, but the Lings are going to be able to get the full surround on this army and clean it up pretty quickly. So this is going to be favoring me quite heavily, actually. And the reinforcements are going to be coming in. They're in the wrong part of the map for the time being. Or I guess for permanently, because they're now dead. But there are going to be actually quite a lot of cannons going down here in these choke points, which is something that I'm not really so thrilled about, because Zerg doesn't really like choke points. They like to be able to kind of run around and run Lings everywhere, like breaking down this debris would be absolutely awesome, because breaking down this debris would allow me to run Lings right up into here, maybe even over into here. The wall-in is going to be complete, but it does appear to be just supply depots. So if I were to try and go for Banelings, I could like punch a hole in this pretty easily and run some Lings in, or I could let my ally like run a Stalker in or something. Which, speaking of a Stalker, a singular Stalker seems to be all he has, which is slightly concerning. But I do have quite a few Lings. I did manage to hold off a previous attack, though with these siege tanks I don't think they'd be able to hold off any other attack, unless the tanks were not sieged up, and then they probably could. But there are going to be lots of sensor towers being thrown down. I'm not really sure what the point of getting 3 is. I can understand 2. Maybe one over here to detect drops, and I don't know, maybe some muter harass coming in from this side. And one over here for the same purpose is good. But what is the point of this one? I'm not really sure. But there is going to be attack moving out from Potato Head, which is going to hit, I think, just probably going to be going for the rocks. Probably going to be hitting Howdy pretty hard, because, I mean, he's got his 3 Stargates, but he honestly isn't making anything out of them, which is something that, well, needs to be done. If you're going to be going for Stargates, good advice is to, I don't know, make Void Race or something. Even like Phoenix would be better than just letting these Stargates sit here and do nothing. Because Stargates don't even have Graviton Beam. They can't even pick up a Marine and shoot at it. They are just a building, humble building. They only know how to make the units that they can shoot. Even an Oracle would be a very good idea here. He is going to be starting a Void Ray, but this Void Ray is going to be much too late. I do send a bunch of Lings over here to try and deal with this. But they're going to clean up almost instantly, because they're running into a choke point, which is not exactly what you want to have Lings doing. The Belches are going to be getting a bit of a concave, but they too are going to have to back up because the siege tank is here. Stalker is going to be joining them. I do try to run in, maybe think I'm going to try to go for the tank, and yes I do, but that is very well overextending. And so all of my roaches are now dead, and this tank has unfortunately survived with 5 kills and 10 HP. Which that was a grave miscalculation on my part. What is this? There's a mothership going to be coming in for Howdy, which I'm not sure I agree with this. I'm not sure the best thing to do in the situation of there's a massive Marine Marauder tank ball in your main is make a mothership. And so that is going to be going down. It's going to get cancelled. Swarm hosts are now out though, and so if the Terrans don't scan that, which they ought to scan, but really you never know. If the Terrans scan that, they should be able to clean that up fairly easily. I do have 1-1 almost done, so that's going to make these locusts one heck of a lot better. It actually might finish before they get even to the bait, even to the army over here. This cannon is going to be taken out. He has 2 kills, 3 kills, but he does fall. The locusts are here. They've got 1-1, but so do these marauders. So one locust really, I don't know if one locust can take out one marauder. I don't know what the math is on that. I know that locusts do what, 12 damage initially, and +1 per upgrade, with an attack speed of, hold on, there aren't actually any on the map right now. Yes, the swarm hosts are going to be under attack, but they have now spawned their locusts, and so the locusts are going to be pushing forward. I'm going to be checking this. It is actually an attack speed of 0.8, which is absolutely ridiculous. Which means they do significantly higher damage than, well, anything else. But the roaches have going to, what was I even trying to say? I can't talk right now. The roaches have cleaned that up. That is what I was trying to say. And so I kind of sort of feel secure right now. I am still almost positive I'm going to lose at this point in the game, because, to be honest, the Terrans could have taken this space by now. They could have taken this space. They could have done pretty much anything. Ooh, especially this guy. He's floating quite a bit of minerals. Now, I know you guys are going to say, I am actually floating a load of resources. And the reason for that is because I'm kind of bad at Starcraft. I mean, I'm not the worst player in the world, but I am so far from the best. Anyways, the 3 Marines at Marauder are going to be scouting out. Not entirely sure what they were up to. They could have just come in here and started killing drones or something. But they are going to be allowing that to live. The Wittermine is going to be moving into the base and should be burrowing anytime now. It does burrow right under these Overlords. Now, an Overlord does not die in one hit from a Wittermine, which, really, if this Wittermine had gone back here, had done some damage to the drones, that would have been a lot better of a use of that mine. Now, I do lose the queen right there, mostly because I wasn't even paying attention. And I do believe I replaced that queen eventually, but, well, that's already been done. Overseer does get hit. This is the same Overseer that more from the Overlord that made the last one. Anyways, Wittermine is finally going to get taken out. The Overseer should be joining my army fairly soon, because I know that there are at least the potential for Wittermine somewhere. At this point, I've just decided that I am going to rally a whole bunch of locusts up into the base. And if they do damage, that is great. If they don't, well, that's unfortunate. But if I can contain them, which I know containing a Terran isn't exactly the... Where did that come from? I guess it got blasted by one of these tanks and flew all the way over there. But there are going to be... well, I was saying, it's not very easy to contain a Terran. Terrans just... I mean, they could lift off their buildings and, like, fly over here, or over here, or even over here if they're really strange like that. And they could just escape your wall. Your, contain pretty easily by flying around. The Marines are going to be cleaning up those locusts. He could easily scan here and take out my swarm host. One swarm host is going to be on the move command, so he is going to die really quickly. He didn't stand a chance. But the Marine Marauder is going to be cleaned up by a rather overwhelming number of roaches. And so, I'm not sure why he lowered those there. That's just going to allow Locusts to get inside the base. Maybe kill off another SCV, and yes they do. Now supply depots are going to be raised, but the Locusts are just going to be going to town on these anyways. At this point, I have split up my swarm hosts into two groups. There's one group here. I'm not sure why they're rallying there at this point. But their goal is going to be to rally up here, destroy anything that could be in, I don't know, that base. And these guys, their rally point's up there. That's a very bad rally point for them. I'd much rather have the rally point be like there, so they'd actually move up in the ramp. Anyways, I do have 13 mutas on the way. Now my thoughts with these mutas are that they seem to be going for a lot of siege tanks to deal with my swarm hosts, which is exactly what they're doing. Now at this point, Potato Head is going to be transitioning into starports. So if he went for Mass Viking, he could probably end up countering my Mutalisk with that, which is not a position I really want to be in. But I do decide to actually wait for a few more mutas to get here before I move out with them, because I'm not exactly sure what's going to be going on with that. I mean, I know there's quite a bit of siege tank, but I don't know what the Marine Marauder count is like, because again, I haven't really scouted that much. I do have random overlords just out here searching for drops and whatnot, but there aren't going to be actually any drops on the way. Locusts are going to be able to move up in here. They're going to kill off a siege tank, which is absolutely awesome, because any damage that they can do to this army is free damage, free kills, and these siege tanks need to siege up or they're all going to be taken out. Locusts do an absurd amount of damage if they can get in range. Now, the thing about the Locusts is that their range is only 3, which is what the range of the Queen used to be before it was buffed. But anyways, the swarm hosts are going to be continuing their slow push of death, and the mutas are now going to be flying in. They are going to be going directly for the barracks, or I guess I just kind of having them attacking anything they want to at this point. And there is going to be the end of that game, which just goes to show that, well, anything can happen in a game of StarCraft. Just because, like, an ally is defeated doesn't mean you have to leave the game. You can, even with, like, completely crappy worker saturation like I had, in some cases you can still come back and win. So that is going to be just me playing StarCraft for fun. If you want to see more, leave a comment. Let me know how you liked it, and I will be bringing more StarCraft and other games very soon.